Hello, and welcome back to the Global Cloud Training tutorial series. In this video, we're going to learn about the security measures that we take to secure your AWS account. To begin, we'll create an event which will create resources in your AWS account. Let's quickly do this. We're going to go ahead and select the two regions that we have activated, and then put the name start and end dates, then choose production event. And now we'll choose allow internet and put our instructor here. Let's give her a password and email, and then let's go ahead and select a template. Now, let's click add. While the process is creating the event, we'll discuss the security measures implemented by the security agent. After that, we'll transition to your AWS account and explore various scenarios. Specifically, we will examine how the GCT Security Agent assigns a unique serial number to each resource. Subsequently, we'll attempt to make changes to resources within your account and observe how the GCT Security Agent responds to those changes. To maintain security, GCT regularly scans your account for multiple resource types, whether they were created by GCT or not. It conducts an analysis to determine the validity of these resources, marking any potentially invalid ones as such. This helps ensure the overall security of your AWS account. If we come over to the Settings tab and we look at Profile, you can see we have the Security Report section here. Here, you have the option to customize the frequency of your security reports. You can choose to receive them daily, weekly, or monthly. The default setting is daily. You will also need to specify where you want the report to be sent, either to the admin email or the support email, which you can designate in this section. The default recipient is the admin email, as indicated. If you opt for daily reports, they will be sent out at midnight UTC time. For weekly reports, they will be dispatched every Monday at 12 a.m. UTC time. And if you prefer monthly reports, they will be sent on the first day of each month at 12 a.m. UTC time. Let's delve into what the GCT Security Agent does when a resource is created in your AWS account. Whenever a resource is generated, GCT assigns it a unique serial number and tags it accordingly. Subsequently, the security agent conducts routine scans of your entire AWS account at your preferred frequency. If the scan identifies a resource lacking a serial number or having an invalid one, that resource is flagged and added to the security report. In addition, its name is modified to include the term invalid, a process we will demonstrate later in this video. Apart from the automated security report generated at your specified intervals, you also have the option to manually initiate a report at any time. You can do this by navigating to the Report section, selecting Security, and clicking Collect. This manual scan allows you to choose whether to scan all regions or specific regions. It's important to note that the automated report generated at the specified frequency covers all regions. The GCT Security Agent comprehensively scans for various resource types, including IAM user accounts, VPCs, subnets, route tables, internet gateways, elastic IPs, NAT gateways, peering connections, security groups, instances, images, key pairs, network interfaces, volumes, load balancers, target groups, certificates, and DNS hosted zones as part of its security audit. Any resource within these categories lacking a valid GCT serial number will be included in the security report. which will be sent to the email address specified in your profile settings. Now that we've successfully completed setting up the event, let's proceed to run a security report to assess our baseline. To do this, navigate to the Settings menu. Then select Reports and choose Security. Next, click Collect, ensuring that you have chosen to scan all regions. A quick reminder, this event was created in two specific regions, namely US East North Virginia and US East Ohio. Therefore, when running the report for all regions, we should primarily focus on these two regions where we intend to make changes. Upon hitting the Collect button, this report should ideally show no invalid resources in the two designated regions. This is because all resources created in these regions should have valid serial numbers attached. For context, when you first set up your AWS account, the process automatically creates a default VPC and associated resources in every region. Consequently, running an initial security report immediately after setting up your AWS account would likely yield a list of invalid resources across all regions. Prior to creating this video, we manually deleted the default VPC from each region through the AWS console. Deleting the VPC leads to the removal of all associated default resources. This is a crucial step to ensure that these default resources no longer appear as invalid in subsequent reports. Now, we intentionally left two regions, Europe Paris and Europe Stockholm, with default resources to illustrate the cleanup process. As you can see, in Europe Paris, the default VPC is present. When AWS creates this default VPC, it doesn't have a valid GCT serial number. This causes it to appear in the security report. To clean up this region, simply type VPC into the search bar. Click on VPC from the list and select the VPC with the ID matching the report. The GCT agent will have marked its name as invalid to help you identify it. Next, click on Actions. Select Delete VPC. Acknowledge the deletion and then type Delete Default VPC and confirm the deletion. This will remove all resources associated with the default VPC from the Paris region in the GCT Security Report. After deleting the VPC and its resources, return to the GCT Management Console. Generate a new security report by navigating to Settings, then Reports, and selecting Security. Click Collect to initiate the report. Upon completion, you can scroll down to the Paris region in the report and you should observe that no invalid resources are detected. Let's now take a closer look at the resources created by GCT. Here, you can see that a VPC has been set up for the instructor. By clicking on the instructor VPC, we can navigate to the tag section where you'll find the name tag and, most importantly, the GCT serial number. Each VPC has its own unique serial number, and this extends to our subnets as well. To understand how changes to a serial number impact the security report, let's simulate someone altering a serial number. We'll select the instructor, click Manage Tags, and then modify the GCT serial number by appending 2 zeros. Next, we'll rerun our security report. Upon re-evaluation, you'll notice that the instructor VPC is flagged as invalid. The GCT serial number, now altered with the extra zeros, indicates that it does not exist, hinting at a potential forgery. When we check the VPCs, you'll see that the security agent has renamed the resource as invalid, providing an easy means to identify such resources in the security report. Now let's revert the serial number and return the instructor VPC to its valid state. With the instructor back in order, Let's examine the scenario where someone creates an unauthorized resource in your account. We'll proceed to create a test VPC and provide it with a CIDR. After its creation, we will rerun the security report. The outcome shows that the instructor is no longer listed on the security report, but the test VPC, along with a route table and security group, has appeared. This is because a default route table and security group are automatically created when a VPC is established. And the security agent notifies you about all three resource types. Returning to the AWS console and refreshing, you'll see that the test VPC is now marked as invalid. The same applies to the associated route table and security group. Now, let's attempt to forge a serial number by copying an existing name and serial number. We'll delete the test VPC and then create a new one named test VPC2. Upon adding the CIDR, we'll try to forge the tag by pasting in the copied name and serial number. After creating the VPC, you'll find it in the list of VPCs, displaying our forged or duplicated GCT serial number. Let's see how the security agent reports this. By clicking Collect, you can observe that the report now indicates the forged serial number. Let's copy the forged serial number, except for the word forged and surrounding parenthesis. Return to the AWS console. Now click on EC2 Global View at the upper left corner and then click on Global Search. Now, paste in the forged serial number as shown here, and you should see a link to the serial number in the drop-down list. Let's click on this link, and you should now see all of the resources that contain the forged serial number. This helps you identify the forged resources, allowing you to then choose which unauthorized item should be removed. Now, let's take a look at what this report looks like when it's sent to you via email. We'll go ahead and send it. In the email, you'll find the report, including the US East region with the forged serial number. At the bottom of the email, please pay special attention to the instructions, which read as follows. Please conduct a thorough review of all the resources listed in this report and proceed to remove any instances that are deemed invalid. This report is generated through an AWS region scan to identify resources lacking valid GCT serial numbers. Prior to initiating any deletions, it is crucial to perform a comprehensive verification to ensure that the respective resource is not actively in use. Should you have any uncertainties about the utilization status, we recommend contacting your administrator for further validation. GCT resources are usually labeled with event and user IDs integrated into their names. This labeling allows you to easily identify which event they are associated with. Resources lacking this type of information, or labeled as invalid, should raise suspicion. That wraps up our tutorial on security agents and security scans. Thank you for watching.